Hello everyone, and thanks for stopping by to Scrap and Craft with Terry. Today we're going to do our trifold folio to finish off our little series. So we're going to go ahead and get started. If you like my video, I just ask that you give me a thumbs up and check out my other ones. So we're going to use a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, and mine is single-sided. So on the back, I just kind of stamped over it with a floral stamp. Oh, my lights are flickering. Well, I hope we ain't gonna lose power. Anyway, I just stamped over with a floral stamp. This here was a little bit of a darker green than what I wanted. I wanted it kind of lighter, but I think I just held it there too long or something. I don't know. I'm not the best stamper. But so I didn't want it to just be white on the inside, so that's what I did. So we're going to score from the back side. So we're going to start out by scoring at 3 3/4. Just go from the top all the way to the bottom, and then 4. Then we're going to go to 8 and 8 1/4. And then we're going to turn it to the left, and we're going to score at, when I push it over there all the way, we're going to score at 1 3/4 and 7 1/4. Okay, so that's all we need our scoreboard for. Now we have these score lines, and I know you're not going to be able to see them very good, and I know I can't see them very good. So I'm just going to kind of go over the lines just a little bit, so maybe I can see them just a little bit better, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I think you can see them a little bit better. Now, on these score lines here, we're going to cut on each side of the score line and cut these little score lines out. And I'm not very good at cutting along these score lines because, you know, can't cut straight. But we'll give it a whirl. We're going to cut up to that score line. And then we'll just snip this off. And I always, when I do it, I always snip this little tiny bit at an angle. So I never cut the poor little thing straight. There. Now, we'll cut out the other one. So how's everyone doing today? Hopefully everyone's doing good. Nope, still didn't cut that thing straight. Good enough. Now we're going to turn it around and cut this this score line, these score lines out. see if we can cut it straight this time. There. Now on this side here, up here on the right hand corner, we're going to cut from this side of the score line. You have the double score line here. We're going to cut from this side of the score line, and we're going to cut this score line out. So we're going to cut this whole section right here out. So let me cut this with my big scissors. And I'll cut the other part with my little ones. And then we're going to want to keep this part here, okay? All right, now this is what we have. So we're going to fold this one up. And this is going to be one of our pockets. Then you can kind of just go over, make sure everything evens out good. And then this will be a flap for our pocket. I could cut a little too much off my flap there. And then I'm going to round these corners so I don't forget. And then on this part of the pocket, I'm going to round this corner here. So this will be a pocket. Then on this pocket here, we're going to fold this up. Crease this down. And then this is going to be our flap for here. And I'm going to go ahead and round, round these two corners. Then on this pocket, we want to make a double pocket here. So what we're going to do is we're going to measure down. Let me look here just to make for sure, because I don't want to cut it wrong. We're going to measure down 1 1/4 inches, and I'm going to make a little mark. So we're going to cut this at an angle. So let me turn it around this way so I can see what I'm doing. So we're going to measure down 1 1/4 inches. And here is my pencil. So 1 1/4. You only need a little mark. And then on this side, we are going to measure up 1 1/2 from the bottom. Yep, 1 1/2 from the bottom fold. Make mark. And then we're going to cut this at an angle. Now you can lay it out and use your ruler and your craft knife, or you can just cut it on your trimmer. I'm going to cut it on my trimmer. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. So we have that piece and we have that piece. Now, this will fold up, and then this part of the pocket here, we're just going to glue back in here, just barely under this pocket. Make sure it's even, and then we'll be able to have a pocket here and a pocket here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a thumb notch in here. Doesn't have to be deep. I don't think that's even. And then I'm going to erase my little lines. Now this time, before I did the video, I did like a little mock-up, so I had half of an idea of what I was doing. So it wouldn't be quite so hard. So I have that to look at, and I have my notes to look at. So we'll lay this back out flat. So we can go ahead and glue this side up before we glue our center one up. And we're only going to glue along, hopefully I'm on camera, we're only going to glue along this edge. And I hope that this glue cooperates today, because it didn't do a whole lot of cooperating on my last video. There it comes, slow but sure. And I know I'm not on camera all the way. Okay, so now we're just going to fold this up. Make sure we're even at our edge over here. And then this is going to be a pocket, but it's just going to be open on this edge to make it a more roomy pocket. Now we can do this pocket, and we're going to want to try, let me see, maybe I want these edges rounded too. Probably just makes them look a little bit better. Okay, so we're just going to want to try to make for sure that it's about up where this other pocket is. So maybe I should put a little line, because I don't want it to look too uneven. And when I'm sitting down, it's hard to see. So I think we'll have it right about here, and then I can erase them marks unless I forget. And then that'll just come to that pocket. So I think I'm going to just glue this and this on first. I think that'll be easier for me. And we'll hope it works good. What did I do with my paper? I mean my little tissue rag thing. Okay. So we'll just put glue here. And put glue here. And then I'm going to line it up with my lines. Now we don't want to close the bottom. We want this to be open. And then I'm going to add, and then it'll come up here and it'll close right to it. Just barely looks like it's off a little tiny bit, but I don't want a crack to be there. Let me just move it up onto them. Let me just put it on the line, then it should be okay. Actually, I think it'll look better if I line it up here. There we go. I think I have to trim a little tiny bit of that score line off of this side. Generally, when I have to cut alongside of a score line, I have to go back and trim it off. Yeah, I think that's better. So, yeah, I think it still looks like it did before. So now we're just going to add glue to this side and this side. And there we go. I think that lined up okay. Okay, so now we have a pocket here that goes all the way through, and we have a pocket here. Now we're going to take this part over here, and then this is our flap. Now I don't have a closure on this one over here. I'm going to put Velcro. I'm not sure if I have enough room here to put Velcro, but I might. So I will probably put, well, I don't know. Maybe I could just put a paper clip just to hold this down. I'm not real sure how tall our tag will be here. If we had a taller tag, that would hold it down, but I don't think the tag for there is going to be tall enough, but we'll see when we get there. Now we're going to take this part right here and we're going to fold it back. And this, when we get all done, is going to be the front of our little folio. I don't know why I have a froggy. So before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and fold these. May have to get a drink. I'm going to fold these and just kind of burnish them down. Now that we have everything folded up there. And then, so that'll fold okay that way. Then we're going to fold this over here. and fold this one here. There. Now when this folds up, it's going to fold like this, and then this will fold over, and this is going to be the front of our folio. So we're going to have a little pocket on the front of the folio. Then we're going to take this and fold it back to the very edge where it folded up at. Make sure we have that lined up pretty good. And then we're going to flatten that down. Make sure I have it all nice and even, or as even as possible. And then this little piece that we cut off is going to be our little tag. Now, we'll cut this part here off where that score line was, because we don't need that. And this is going to be a little side tag. So it'll be a matching tag that goes with the folio. So we'll set that there. And then I'm going to cut my thumb notch in here. And then when that's folded up and our tag is in there, we'll see the tag. Now, I'm going to, on both sides here, I'm going to glue along this edge, and we're going to fold it up, and that's going to make one pocket here. So as you can see, actually, this is a quick little project. Once you get all your scores put in, and then you get your score lines cut where you have to, it actually goes right along pretty quick. And I like that. I like quick little projects. Okay. So now we have a pocket here, nice size pocket, and it goes all the way down to that fold. Then I'm going to fold this back, and I'm just going to go along this edge and down the bottom. And the tag that goes in this pocket is kind of small, so you can actually fit another tag in there with it if you wanted to. So that'll just go right in there. So I'm going to go ahead while we're right here on this part, and I'm going to cut my angles for it. I think I just want the small one. And then that will be all done. We won't have to backtrack and do that. Only if I can get it lined up there. So even though this is stamped on the back, that's still light enough that you can journal on that little tag. And I'm just going to kind of fold this over. Let me see. This one cuts lightweight paper good. We'll use this one. My other one, my other corner punch doesn't always like lightweight paper. And then, where did I put it? I have a roll of ribbon right here. So I'm just going to cut a piece of ribbon. I'm not going to make it really, really long because it's just a little small tag. Now, if you wanted, as you was going, you could be inking all around this. I probably will not ink around the outside. Oops. Turn it around this way. Just in time for the staples to run out. Hang on. Okay, there's never a good time for the staples to run out, right? Now let's try this again. There we go. So that will go right in there. Could probably put a little flower or gem or something on there. Now let's see what we're doing here. Now I think everything is done. All we have to do is fill. Let's see. All right, now in this center pocket, I just took a piece of lightweight scrapbook paper, and I just corner rounded the edges, the corners. Figured that could be a nice journaling page. And I didn't ink it. This was one of the little journal tags that I did in one of our videos here just a while back. So I thought that would go nice in there. Then this is one of the journal tags that we made here just a while back, and it has a little fold down journaling spot. It's a faux envelope. See if that'll go down in there like it's supposed to. Oh, wait a minute, I'm putting it in the wrong spot. So I thought this would slide in here just perfect. And then this will just fold over. I have to get my Velcro for this. And on the front, in our front pocket, right here, I thought this was one of the little notepads we made here just not too long back. I thought that would fit right in there. I still have to get my decorations for the pockets and stuff. I didn't get any of that out. Then on this page here, to incorporate this little project, I thought I would do a belly band. So I have to get a belly band for there, and then I have to get a belly band for the back page, because I'm going to put this in a belly band on the back page. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I think I got everything that I needed now. So for our belly bands, I had another piece of this paper, so it's just 1 inch wide by the length of this paper. So I'm just going to glue the top and bottom. I took everything back out of the pockets while I'm going to be gluing stuff on. It'll just be easier. Oop. Didn't want that there. That doesn't look straight. Hopefully that looks straight. And we're going to put this one here under the belly band, but I'm going to let this dry first. So we're going to fold these over and this in so I know where the back is for sure. I don't want to mess it up. And I'm going to put a belly band here and put that down so I know where my edge is. Now, if this glue tip would work like this all the time, it would be so nice. It used to work like that all the time. And then I just have to trim this little tiny bit off. Now on this pocket here, I'm going to put this pretty little hat with the flowers. And I figured we had so many flowers and stuff, I was just going to tear a couple pieces of paper that went with the background just to glue on them flaps. We're just going to set that on there. I thought about setting it on a little bit of cheesecloth or something, but well, I didn't get it out. And then we're going to put this on here, because to tell you the truth, I actually forgot all about the embellishments for finishing it. I have paper glued to my thumb. Okay, we're just going to set that on there. And this is just a little piece of a cut off. Then I'm going to put this here. We'll go ahead and do that now. Then down here on this pocket, let me stick something in here so I know where the pocket is. We're going to stick this sunflower here. And I actually didn't want that down yet. I'm going to stick this under the edge. Just going to put a little label and a little butterfly on with it. Just kind of stick that under there. And then this little butterfly, because he's just a cutie. I don't think I want it up here. Maybe I do. I needed one more thing to go there, and he was laying on my desk. Just waiting for me to use him. So now I have to do his little antennas. Don't want to go up too far, so we'll just swoosh it there and swoosh it there. Now this little piece is going to go on this pocket right here. We have a mushroom in one of the pockets on one of the things that we made before, so I figured a mushroom could go on here. Oh, I guess I have to trim that off. And then that can be written on. You can write anything on there. Couldn't figure out what paper was peeking at me down there. That belly band is definitely not straight, but it's stuck. Now let me see. On this page here, I just made up this little notepad real quick. Cut out 3 little circles. I think I want to put a couple gems on here. Or maybe a little piece of lace. Maybe a little piece of lace on there. And I have 3 little gold gems. So let me do that. I'm going to get my Fabri-Tac to run down. So I'm going to make sure my glue stays on. I'm going to make sure my lace stays on. So we'll just glue it right around in here somewhere. And then I'll trim it off. Let me trim just a little tiny bit more. That's better. Now I have 3 gold gems, so that's all it's getting. And we're going to put it right in the center. There we go. Or maybe I didn't put any glue where he was. I thought I did. There. So let me see. There's 3 different size papers. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. So I figured we had the little notebook or the little notepad for the front, but I figured this would also be good to put in here too. And I creased these, so when you want to write, they'll fold up, and then you could always put a picture or something under here. So you can see where I creased it here. I creased it with the ruler. Doesn't look very straight, but I'm just going to glue it where my staples are and down just a little tiny bit. I'm not going to glue it all the way down to that crease. And I thought that was just a cute little embellishment. I'd like to make some more of these in different colors. Just to have to add to other stuff. Better put the pin back in here before I can't pry it out. Okay, so now we should be able to start putting our stuff in. So We're going to put this in here. So this is our journal card. So once I get it all folded up, then you guys are going to see me filling it. I'm not going to go through it again. And in our center one, we have a journal card for the little front pocket. And we have journal paper for the back pocket. Then before I put this in, I'm going to go ahead and put my notepad in. And it has a little butterfly. So then I'm going to slide this in this belly band. And it'll stay over to the edge because you don't want it to go over there. And let me see, for this, I'm just going to put one of these little paper clips with the heart on. I'm just going to put one of them on, and that'll hold that shut. I still don't have my Velcro on here, but I'll get that put on. Then we're going to fold this over and fold this over, and on the back we're going to have this, and hopefully it'll fit in there. And you know, because of my my tag sticking up out of there, well, you know what, I'm just going to trim these a little tiny bit shorter. And I could probably make this just a little bit shorter. And it won't hurt the lace at all. And I can round my corners down. Never thought about the ribbon being on there. I'm not going to be able to have that on there while I'm putting this in here though. So I think this should go under there okay. We'll just slide this over this way. And there is that one. And actually, when this is closed, you really wouldn't need this little paper clip, but we'll just put it off to the side anyway. And then we will add our Velcro to this. Make sure it goes down far enough. Yep. Oops, I'm probably clear off in left field over here. And then that'll just fold down. Now the plastic doesn't want to let go of my finger. And then when we want to open up our pocket, we can just open it up, slip our little journal card out. So that is our folio with our, let me see what the name of the pockets was. I have it laying here. We did our torn pocket. And then we did this little mini pocket holder with this was the mini pocket holder with 4 tags and the floating pocket tag. And then this was our library pocket folder. So there we go, everybody. Let me close it up right. Now you can tie something around this, or you can make another belly band to go around it. I will probably just tie something, but I think the video is pretty long, so I don't want to stop and do that. So I hope everyone enjoyed it. Hope everyone enjoyed the little series. And if you did, let me know down in the comments. And I hope you come back to see me for my next video, whatever that might be. And until then, everyone, have a wonderful day and happy crafting. Bye for now.